My, it's certainly all go at this place. Look at everyone scampering about.
That's what universities are like, Goose. Fevered energy and constant scholarly exchange. It's as exciting a location as you'll ever encounter. Oh, feel that learned atmosphere wash over you. It certainly got me all of a tingle.
Shouldn't it be more of a rarefied atmosphere of deep thought and original thinking? Thrills and spills don't sound like a typical university environment.
What? Oh, you must be thinking of the early proto-universities before they allowed the forces of free market capitalism to wash over them. Once private companies got the hooks in, things like original thinking got chucked out the door to make room for marketing departments, branded degree merchandise, and lecture sponsorship.
So it's all about the lowest common denominator then? Stack him in as high as you can, and so long as you're turning a tidy profit, who cares about scholarship?
You've got it, Goose. Higher education's more like a great big sausage machine on Quadria now. Raw would-be scholars and their fees are squeezed in one end, passed through an education mincer to homogenise out any problematic free thinking, and then they get plopped out as shiny organic sacks of potential economic production at the far end.
Well, that's it for me eating sausages then. Thanks. And that system sounds like a dreadful waste of potential, if you were to ask me.
Well, thankfully, no one is bothering to, Advick. Do try and remember who is the only person in this corridor with an actual academic qualification.
Give over, Dr. WHeasel. Did you once say that your name was actually a promise you made to yourself long ago?
Yes, a promise. A promise to whip out my doctorate and demand an upgrade on every flight or restaurant I ever find myself in. What's the point of all that graduate school labour if I can't lord it over the lesser mortals for the rest of existence?
Typical bleeding academic.
The hallowed halls of higher learning are now host to a seeming duplicity of weasels. But is this other doctor friend, foe, or potential research collaborator? And why has he got the Time-Weasels in such a catastrophic knicker-knot? Only the tenured Dr. WHeasel and perennial fresher Advick Ghost may be able to say for sure in Dr. WHeasel and the Enemy of the University, Part 2!
Right, there's been enough discussion for now, my good Goose. Somewhere in this university is an utter bar steward who's pretending to be me.
Shouldn't we try and look out for other signs of temporal disruption? The Time-Weasels were a bit vague in what the threat to Quadrinia was. You've just fixated on your potential doppelganger as the problem.
Come off it, Advick. What are the chances the Time-Weasel High Council sends us here on the QT, and it just so happens that there's a fella going with exactly the same name as me waiting in the wings?
Well, given the funny way you pronounce your name, quite low, I'd admit. But it could be simply a coincidence. Maybe WHeasel is as common as Quadrina as Smith is on Earth. Or, of course, it could be... No, that's not possible.
What? Out with it.
No, you'll only laugh at me.
No, I won't, Advick. Actually, I will. That's almost a certainty, so not telling me what you've just thought of, Goose, is only going to briefly delay the inevitable and justified mockery. If not for this, then for something else very soon, I'd be sure.
Okay, I was only thinking, Doctor, that this other Dr. WHeasel may actually be you. You know, yourself, from your own future.
What? That's preposterous, Advick. That would violate the first law of time.
Always tell visitors to arrive 30 minutes before you want them to arrive, so that way they won't be late.
I gotta give you the pocket edition of the laws last Christmas. The second law of time, then.
Yes, that makes more sense. Never cross your own timeline, as it might end the cosmos as we know it.
Or cause severe embarrassment, as I recall. Actually, it's not such a daft idea, Advick. Given the temporal nature of this little foo-foo we're here to stop, a Time-Weasel accidentally running into themselves could be exactly the sort of thing to cause a disruption to the timelines around Quadria.
Not enough of a disruption to drag the Firmament Investigation Agency into things, I'd hope. I really don't want to have to explain to them what we ended up doing to Emerald and Bronze.
Nah, I think we'll be okay. At least I hope we will. Tell you what, Goose, let's be careful. We'll find this imposter's office and, I don't know, peek through the keyhole or something. If I'm careful, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to tell if he's the source of the problem or not without too much trouble.
And if he turns out to be you and the cause of the temporal disruption, then what?
I'll fall back on what I do best. Improvisation! Well, improvisation and making a wildly dramatic speech. Normally does the job.
Doctor, I have to tell you, I feel a monumental sense of foreboding about all this, as though we're standing on the precipice of something truly dreadful. They have school bells. How quaint.
Hey, don't knock it if you haven't tried it, Goose. Come on, before the corridors are swarming with spotty students.
So, class, let's recap what we've covered in today's seminar. Firstly, we've seen if you modulate a dark energy field through a thoron cascade of around 1 million teraquark, it's possible to create a microcoronal singularity of sufficient tachyon carrying capacity to use as the focusing lens of a temporal scope.
I think I've got it all, Professor. But this is all theoretical, right? I remember Thorquind wrote in his thesis, attempts to utilise microcoronal singularities as temporal lenses risk significant and uncertain disruption to the fabric of space-time.
Well, Tobias, isn't it? First, what you need to remember is Thorquind was a complete and total muppet, with barely enough brain cells to calculate the tip in a restaurant. And secondly, of course it is all highly speculative. Like all high-energy space-time physics research, we're decades, if not centuries away from even the lowest-level experiments of this type on a practical level, so don't go losing any sleep over it. Right, class dismissed. Go on, you little ankle biters. Some of us have lab work to do and papers to write. Oh, don't forget to drink your EduSmart soda before writing the next assignment if you want to get a passing grade.
Must we go, Dr. WHeasel? Can't we come and help in your lab work? I'm sure we'd learn a lot more that way than reading off EduSlabs.
Yes, we wouldn't make any mess at all. Why, we could always clean your test tubes until they sparkled.
Test tubes? Holy photon, lass, what century do you think we're in? I've not stashed stray neutrinos in glassware since I was a kitling.
I'd listen to Dr. WHeasel, Jennifer, Tobias. He knows what he's doing. It's why he's our most frequently requested beneficiary of industrial patronage cycle after cycle.
Well, if your mind's made up, Dean Crustington. Come on, Tobias, we need to study.
Now then, Dr. WHeasel, I was most stimulated by the end of your seminar today. A real first-class demonstration of Quadria Central University's core synergistic brand values.
Aye, which bit, Dean Crustington? I don't think you jumped up academic executive managers cared much for teaching and whatnot. So long as money keeps rolling in.
Come, WHeasel. You and I both know your work is far from theoretical. Why, the commercial applications are so limitless. I'm salivating at the prospect.
A fair assessment, aye, but as I warned you, if we let on what some of the possible applications might be, it could give some of the normal sponsors a fair old case of the collywobbles.
Dr. WHeasel, you are thinking too small, too reductively. Why, if your time lens works half as well as you claim it will, it'll outstrip all other institutional revenue streams in a matter of days. There's not a corporate educational stakeholder alive who'd dare pass us over.
Not forgetting all the benefits it'll have for society, along with pushing back the frontiers of academic knowledge to boot.
Well, yes, perhaps. But first, WHeasel, you must complete your prototype and demonstrate it to the governing council. How soon will it be ready? Marketing are ready to roll on a major brand exposure campaign at my command.
Look, Dean, I told you before, it'll be ready as soon as Clementon's research group have finished building that power drive configuration I sketched out for them last semester. My work's essentially done, so why don't you go crack a whip in their direction for change?
Right. I'll make sure Clementon and her team redouble their efforts.
Now, if you're quite finished mithering me, be off with you, Dean. I'll com you, as soon as I've got anything to show you.
There's no need to be so testy. Dinner with the Venture Capitalist Committee tomorrow as usual, I assume?
Oh, if I must. Now go on. Clear off. Oh, I thought that woman would never leave. If it's not teaching flipping students, it's satisfying the governors I'm doing economically sound research. What an age to be stuck in. Now, where have we got to, old girl? Yeah, the achronal lens actuators are fully functional and the artronic capacitors fully regulated. Maybe today's the day I finally align your eternity shaft. Oh, to heck with the consequences. I've spent long enough exiled this primitive dump.
Maybe I'll siphon off power from the city's central fusion sphere to run a proper test.
Botheration, it never stops around here. I thought an academic would have a quiet life, but how do they ever get any cost-effective research done?
Come in! And who in the 7 planes of perdition are you two supposed to be?
Funny you should ask that question. Dr. WHeasel, where your new lab assistants?
Is the original Dr. WHeasel about to cause a massive violation of the space-time continuum simply to satisfy his own curiosity? Or is his similarly named counterpart someone who needs to be stopped no matter the cost? And will Advick Goose be able to bluff his way through elementary laboratory glassware maintenance? Ha! The only way to know for sure is to enroll in Dr. WHeasel and the Enemy of the University, Part 3!
Dr. WHeasel's a weasel to the Order Enterprises production, featuring Randolph Weaving as Dr. WHeasel, Quentin Goose as Advick Goose, Nathaniel Badgington as the other Dr. WHeasel, Chris Betts as Tobias F4 Recurrence Boy, Lulu Miller as Jennifer 6Y Strong Girl, and Joe Scott Darrell as Dean Crossington.